We spend a lot of time on this program lauding the teams that do a lot with a little. The Rays, Brewers, Guardians. Every so often, we need to talk about the teams that do a lot with a lot. Big series underway in Queens. It's big money, big city baseball. Great game last night, illuminating that the Mets starting pitchers are #1 in baseball in ERA, while the Phillies are still resilient and powerful. Let's check the investments, shall we? And do a little digging in. Baseball clubs at the top are usually engaged in a bit of an arms race. Philadelphia president Dave Dombrowski is known for his big spending clubs, but the Phillies went all in even before he came aboard when they signed Bryce Harper to a massive deal in 2019. It signified that the Phillies were back in the big business game, as they were years before in the Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins years. As for the Mets, it was also ownership-driven. Steve Cohen had a few bumps in the road, but he had the club with the #1 payroll of all time. Remember that? Sputtered out in 2023. Now with new club president David Stearns, they're a bit more pragmatic with a big wallet. Here are the top 5 payrolls in the major leagues. The Dodgers are now up at #1. The Mets are second, then the Phillies, then the Yankees, then the Blue Jays. We put up the top 5 here because there's a bit of a gap between #4 and #5, right? It's about $40 million or so between the Yankees and the Blue Jays. The gap between the Mets and Phillies also, that's not nothing. It's about $30 million, so not far from this gap as well. $30 to $4 million is real money. A GM can do a lot with that kind of money. But how do they spend it? And how they do it, different. The Mets spend nearly 63% of their payroll on hitting. A lot of that is Juan Soto. Payroll figure is due nearly $62 million in his monster contract and signing bonus. The Phillies spend just 52% of their payroll on hitting. For all the emphasis on Harper and Schwarber, two larger-than-life figures, the money in Philadelphia goes to the rotation. All right, here are the aircraft carriers for both clubs. I've had to adjust for inflation, by the way. I used to deem an aircraft carrier to be a guy making $20 million. It's now $25 million. For the Phillies, start with them. It's starting pitcher, shortstop, first baseman, starting pitcher. 24.6. I'm going to round up. It's close enough to 25. For the Mets, right fielder, shortstop, first baseman, and then a pitcher who's not even pitching. The highest paid starter is Sean Manaea, AAV of $25 million. He was signed just recently. He's injured. The Phillies, as you can see, looking to extend their window, spent big on what is now a rare resource, the horse, the starting pitcher. The Mets, you might recall, tried to do the same thing, but did so with aging stars who fell on their watch. Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander, future Hall of Famers, but they were older. The Mets have since done a commendable job refiguring that rotation with less money. Let's go back and follow the money. Here are the rotations and the salaries of the starting rotations. I know there's an awful lot going on here. I wanted to throw in the ERAs so you could just judge as you're looking at it who's pitching well, who's not. Start off with Philadelphia. You see Wheeler and Nola, big-ticket items. Also, Taijuan Walker is at $18 million. That's expensive. For the Mets, their top 2 salaried pitchers are not even pitching. They haven't pitched an inning this year. But look at Kodai Senga, Clay Holmes, converted reliever from the Yankees. Senga pitched years ago. Then you have David Peterson, Tyler McGill, who pitched great last night. Those guys are homegrown. Griffin Canning, who struggled with the Angels, signed to a 1-year free agent deal. Reasonable money. Pitching very well, so is Clay Holmes. Peterson and McGill have been pitching great. Homegrown works. Homegrown is less expensive. I don't want to minimize the Philadelphia Phillies' ingenuity as well. Christopher Sanchez, by the way, is homegrown. He's pitched very well. They bought low on Jesus Luzardo in a trade with the Marlins. Luzardo has been excellent as well. He doesn't cost an awful lot. But basically, the Phillies have $42 million on one guy, while the Mets, their whole pitching rotation as it stands right now, is less than $40 million. This is less than $40 million. Zach Wheeler, one guy, $42 million, and the Mets have the #1 ERA in baseball. Combined, under $40 million right now. Long way to go, but the Mets, for now, have found a way.
Strikeouts without allowing a walk. In a single game in Marlins franchise history, you see Sandy Alcantara's up there along with a couple others, but he also tied Randy Johnson's record of most strikeouts without giving up a walk in 6 innings with 14. Max joins us now on the National Pregame Show. Max, congratulations on that incredible performance. Did you just feel it right from Jump Street that you had your A game?
Yeah, I think just in the bullpen and every pitch I threw when I was looking at some of the metrics, I felt like everything was moving a little more than normal, and I was dotting a little more than normal. So it felt good right off the get-go.
I have to assume you were paying attention to the Cincinnati Reds the night before. And on Sunday, they scored 24 runs. They scored 24 runs. You're facing that same team the next day. Did that cross your mind at all? Was it intimidating?
I saw it. I think maybe a couple of years before I maybe would be a little intimidated, but this group is so good to be around, and we're all so comfortable and confident in the locker room, so I was just excited to pitch.
Hey, Max, it's Dan. 2022, you have to have Tommy John surgery. What was it like when you had the initial diagnosis?
I mean, it was heartbreaking, especially, I was really good going up in the minor leagues. Everything was clicking good, and then elbow started bugging me. Obviously, I went out in that second start, and it's kind of like I got to just start from scratch and try to fight my way back. And obviously, there's ups and downs in that, and I'm happy with where I'm at right now.
What was the most difficult part coming back?
I think just letting everything go and not having to worry about the pain. I'd have it in the back of my head, like, if I throw this pitch, is my elbow going to hurt? But then, that's a terrible way to pitch. You want to go out there and be confident in everything you throw. So that's my motto going forward.
I watched you pitch in college, and you were dominant. How different are you now at this stage of your baseball career to when you were coming out of college and you were a first-round pick?
I mean, I think I'm a totally different pitcher. Obviously, I still have my slider from college, but I'm able to have a sinker now and a sweeper, and I just feel like I understand the game more and hitters' tendencies and, taking the information from the previous pitch and throwing the next one. So I feel like I've matured a lot through the game, just talking with all my teammates, too.
Your slider right now, your best out pitch, your best swing and miss pitch. Did you always have a good slider, even in your college days at Minnesota?
Yeah, growing up, I just felt like that was my pitch. That's all I threw. Especially in Minnesota baseball, I feel like I could get a lot of outs with that thing. Yeah, it's been developing ever since.
Now, are there variations to that pitch? It's the most dominant single pitch in baseball right now in terms of strikeouts. You have 33 punch-outs on just that slider. Do you throw it to get ahead in the count? Do you throw it with more break than normal? How do you master that pitch?
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of the game, I'm going to throw it in the zone to see, what their game plan is, see if they're going to spit on the low ball or swing at it, and then I can kind of read off that. And some days I'll go with the fastball more for my 0-2 counts, mostly slider. But yeah, I like to keep it in zone and out of zone when I can.
Hey, Max, you pitch on Monday night. What will your routine look like until you make your next start?
I keep it light. I don't really have much of a routine. I'll probably be playing cards on the table, playing ping pong, and just leading right up to game time, couple arm circles, and then I'm ready to go.
Do you have a good slider with the ping pong paddle?
Yeah, you can ask Braxton Garrett about that one. Got him a couple times.
All right,
Got him
we'll
a couple
have to
times
ask.
today.
Before I let you go, who was the pitcher you emulated growing up? Who was your favorite pitcher?
I really like Scherzer through my whole life, just watching him pitch, watching how he channels his anger and uses it on every pitch. It's something that I kind of try to do my whole life, and I feel like I'm really aggressive with my pitches once I start to get a little ticked off.
All right, Minnesota native, went to University of Minnesota. Who was your favorite all-time twin?
All-time twin, honestly, it's Carlos Gomez. I remember going to a few games, and he was just an electric player. Just watching him slamming bats, hitting homers, pimping them. I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Go Gomez. Yes, we remember Carlos Gomez. Favorite pitcher growing up, Max Scherzer. I feel like those are current guys to us. We're getting older, Dan. Max Meyer, that was so fun to watch. I have a feeling, my bad knee, we're going to see you in Atlanta for the All-Star game. So keep dominating, okay?
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.